Okay, so next on our agenda, we are welcoming Debbie Thompson, social prescriber from Mosaic Primary Care Network.
Morning, everybody. Thank you very much for inviting me to speak here today. My name's Debbie, and I'm one of 3 social prescribers from Mosaic Primary Care Network. We support patients across surgeries in Basingstoke, Odiham and Old Basing. And as a team, we are involved in a number of ongoing initiatives to help promote well-being, health and community engagement across our local communities, including well-being walks in association with Basingstoke Voluntary Action and Heart Voluntary Action, and also weekly patient coffee groups. And we've also in the past run confidence courses. And we are active members of the Hampshire and Isle of Wight Social Prescribing Network. Today, I'd like to talk to you about some support I've given to a lovely gentleman called Bert. Now, Bert is a disabled army veteran, and he served with the 1st Battalion Middlesex Regiment. He was first referred over to me in summer of 24. After a routine appointment with a diabetic nurse, he expressed to her that he had some concerns, was a bit worried about things at home, the condition of his property, and didn't quite know what to do about it. So she suggested, would he like to link up with Social Prescriber for some advice and support? So I initially made contact with Bert by telephone to introduce myself, let him know who I am, what I do, and see whether he was happy to engage with my support. And during that call, Bert mentioned that his wife had passed away a couple of years ago. Things had got a bit out of hand in the house with clutter and things. And he wasn't, although he had been quite proactive in trying to organise things, he didn't really quite know where to go with it. So I followed up with a home visit, and it transpired that Bert had been sleeping downstairs on a settee for years. The upstairs of his property had got quite cluttered, and there was a lot of extensive repairs that needed doing. He is a housing association tenant, and they wanted to resume work and do some work, but he needed to make changes within the house for that to happen. So I suggested he make contact with his local housing officer, which he did. He was very, very proactive. But also, he had mentioned as well that he was quite socially isolated. He didn't really have a friendship group. He didn't really go anywhere. I just sometimes saw family. And he was really keen to change that. He really wanted to change, his situation. So I spoke to him about the Basingstoke Veterans Club. Now, I'd become aware of this club through my wellbeing walk because one of their committee members, Rob, was a regular on my walk. And I had kind of, over the weeks, found out a lot about the club and what they did and the support that they could offer people within the community. So I asked Bert, would you like to have their details and get linked up with them, which he was, really wanted to do. So I think the following week I went along with Bert for the first time just to give him a bit of confidence, introduce him to people. And it was clear right from the start that the club was so keen to help, not only in terms of offering friendship and that community, but also in terms of practical help. So they started talking, making suggestions, what would you like? What would you like, Bert? How would you like us to help? And came up with a suggestion of putting together like a working party and getting some support from SAFA in terms of funding for a skip. Now, obviously, it was quite an invasive thing and quite overwhelming. So Bert, he needed time to go off and have a think about it because we wanted him to feel in control of what was happening and, for him to take ownership and be really comfortable with whatever help he accepted. So he went off and spent some time, chatted to some family members. And then the next week, he came back to the club and said, I would really like your help. I want to do this. I would like some support to do this. So in August 24, a number of people from Basingstoke Veterans Club, a representative from a local charity, Helping Hand Cats and Dogs, myself, Bert's family, Bert. We all got together and spent the day clearing out the property with a skip, with tip runs. Bert showed amazing resilience throughout this whole thing, amazing sense of humour, and really, really trusted us in his home, which is a really, really huge thing. So we got the majority of it cleared, and then over the next couple of days, some family members stepped in and cleared the rest. And then Bert was very, very proactive in organising a joint services meeting. He made some phone calls and invited us to a meeting at his house. He had the local council there. He had his housing association there. The local council helped him apply for a grant to have his bathroom turned into a wet room. The housing association started actively putting together a plan of what work needed doing in the home so that we could get Bert back upstairs, sleeping in a bedroom, in a bed. And so that's kind of where we were at then. So what I'd like now is I'm going to hand you over to Bert. He's not here in person, but he very kindly offered to do a video with us. So we're going to listen to Bert. We would love to hear a little bit about your experience working with a social prescriber, which is what, myself. And tell us maybe a little bit about the sort of the impact it's had on your life, the changes it's had on your life, your home,
start at the beginning before I got you involved with, with the diabetic nurse, wasn't it? Because she put you onto me, didn't she?
Yeah.
The diabetic nurse who was seeing to me says to me, "You look a bit worried, Bert." So I said, "Well, yeah, because I've got sort of problems, with the house and that." And I described her to what they said. Then I will talk to a colleague of ours, Debbie, and see if she can help you in any way that she can. A hole appeared in the roof, and the rain was coming in. It was soaking the bedrooms and everything else. And she said, "Right, then we'll she knows some organisations that will be able to help you with the Veterans Association, because I am an ex-veteran. I'm a disabled war pensioner, and and they offered to help, and they came round and had a look to see what needed doing, and within a short space of time they helped to clear the house with my family helping and the veterans helping. We started getting the housing association involved in repairing the roof. I'm very grateful for the help that was offered and actually taken place. They helped me 100%, and they were behind me every step of the way through it. I had to leave the house for 2 weeks while they repaired the ceilings, the electrics had to be done, and everything else. And I'm very grateful for the companies that were involved. They were very pleasant, very tidy, and and everybody was, in my opinion, was bending over backwards to help me. Right, I'm invited one time to go to the Vets Association, and I attend every Monday morning, and their friendship is unbelievable. They're willing to, they make you at home if you feel like it, or they, everybody is very friendly, and they're willing to help each other in any crisis. This is the impression I got from them, and which I felt personally humiliated to think that I neglected things And these people have come along and helped, you know, their own time and their own space to help me, and which they continue to do in their friendship and their, well, not only to me, but to everybody who goes to the association. And, you know, I'm overwhelmed by their friendship and what they can do for other people. With the surgery, I got involved with Debbie, who is the social subscriber.
Yeah.
And she started organising other things as well. And I'm most grateful for her intervening, because I don't think I could have gone forward without her help at all. And, you know, I cannot thank her enough. You know, my sincere thanks to her for helping me to stand up and find, you know, to say, you know, this needs doing, that needs doing. And we, between the Veteran Association and Debbie and myself, we managed to get things organised. And, well, yeah, I'm overwhelmed with what she has done for me.
So as you can see, Bert, he really felt part of the whole process. He felt in control, and he felt that we were working together. So far today, he's had such extensive work done in his property, and he's been amazing throughout the whole thing. He's had roof repairs, all new windows and doors. He's had a wet room put in. He's had, you know, stair carpet done. He's had new boiler. He's had so much done, and he is you know, an active member, a really active member now of the Basingstoke Veterans Club. And we have the chairman here today, another Bert Taylor. We have him here today if you have any questions. So I'd like to personally thank Bert and everybody from the Vets Club for everything they did in terms of supporting the other Bert. And I'd just like to say that I'm really proud to have been part of this, and I feel like it's a really good example of how powerful collaborative working can be in terms of changing the outcomes and improving people's lives and their well-being. So thank you everyone for listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you.